It is all correlated in history, because I was talking to one of my classes and I was like, okay, so we talk about a lot of the themes that you talk about, right? How they don't teach money in school, and how a paycheck is worse than a drug habit, and it makes you complacent and it makes you poor. And then in France, they raised the retirement age from 62 to 64, and everyone riots in the streets because they're so used to getting that fix, that drug, that protection from the government, that illusion of safety and you know, this living life happily ever after, when in fact it's just a ridiculous concept. People are living into their 80s. So what is the government going to pay for everything after 64, 62? I mean, but the whole paradigm is whacked in France. So they get angry, they riot in the streets because they probably were never given a financial education, Robert. So
no,
yeah.
But that's why I wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Why do you teach us about money at school? Nothing. Is that an accident? No. So the advantage you and I have is we have some semblance of a financial education, looking from behind the scenes of the wizard. You know, the wizard's just this big fake machine. You call it the City of London, I call it Wall Street. And I call it the retirement system. And the rioting in France today is America in 2 years. When the baby boomers of my generation find out they can't afford to retire,
right,
they're going to be rioting. They'll be, you know, that's why, Brian, I sit here. One thing I like about America, this is a Dirty Harry gun. It's the 44 Magnum, same model. You know, as Dirty Harry said, feeling lucky. How many rounds did I shoot? The most powerful handgun on earth. It's coming. You can see it in France today.
Well, you know,
but, oh no, that's because they're French. No, it's coming.
Right. Well, you know, last few years, Robert, so many people have talked and even tried to be proponents of this concept of the universal basic income. And people are talking about how this is a great thing and we need it. And, you know, AI is coming in and people are saying, well, that's okay. AI is going to replace all these useless jobs and everyone can have a nice universal basic income. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. First of all, that's worse than a paycheck. You know, it's the government giving you this, which means, guess what? The government now controls you. It also doesn't teach you how to create wealth like your rich dad did. So like you said, they're literally onboarding us into the socialist system that you're seeing in Paris.
And then what happened on February 8th of this year, like the reason I wrote a book called The Capitalist Manifesto. But February 8th of this year, I was at Arizona State University. I was teaching all these young, the gifted students at Arizona State, and 37 of the teachers came after me. And that's when I said, that's enough. So Brian, in 10 days, I wrote my next book. It's called Capitalism Teaches People How to Fish. Marxism teaches people how to steal fish from people who fish. And it comes out on April 6th this year. It's only 500 copies of it. But I crashed it because I've had enough. And like I said, I flew these in Vietnam, went down 3 times. I fight for our freedoms. I didn't fight for, I just fought for our freedom. And we're losing our freedom because our academics are communists. And guys like Gad Saad and Jordan Peterson are speaking out. And I encourage people to speak out. Why let these academic types steal our freedoms? It doesn't make sense to me. Who cares what gender you are? I mean, I don't. You know, I'm glad they're finally getting men out of women's sports. I mean, what the heck's wrong with this?
Yeah.
What difference does it make? I mean, if women let the women kick those guys out. You know what I mean? I just don't understand this stuff.
Robert, you mentioned the ESG earlier, and like, explain to people, because when they hear ESG, they're like, oh, this sounds like good causes, environmental, social, governments. Tell me what's happening there, and maybe even talk about some of the big moves of BlackRock, which I think has $1 trillion of assets that are maybe pushing some of this agenda. Explain to people why maybe it's not so nice and altruistic, this ESG.
No, you know, E stands for environment, S stands for social, and G stands for governance, or the rule of law. And the rule of law is that all people are created equal under the rule of law, but it's not. And BlackRock is shutting down a lot of my oil projects. So what's that going to do to inflation? It's going to make it higher. You know, without oil, we can't function. You know, I just flew in from Romania via London last night. What's that cost? What's that going to cost next? What are they going to do? Make that British Airways jet fly in electricity? It's not possible. You define the laws of logic and gravity. So we have to have energy. Civilization runs on energy. So that's why Biden's first move was to cut down, stop the Keystone XL pipeline. And I immediately knew he's going to crush the middle class. And the middle class leads to revolution when they can no longer feed their kids. And you think this war in the Ukraine, I mean, look at this guy Biden. His kid was taking money from the Ukraine, Russia, and China. Give me a break. Donald Trump would slap his kids around for doing that. So we've gone so hardcore woke communism Marxist that if we don't speak up, who are we? As Jordan Peterson says, when you have something to say, silence is a lie. When you have something to say, silence is a lie. So my new book comes out April 6th, only 500 copies. All the A students are going, but you have some mistakes in it. I said, yeah, but I sell more copies than you do, idiot. I hate these A students. Oh, you misspelled capital. Well, what kind of capital am I talking about? Money or state capitals? You know what I mean? They're so anal, they can't see the wood from the trees. We've got to speak out, Brian. We've got to speak out. Who the heck are we if we don't speak out?
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing,
And everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?